the film initially is especially from Aldo's point of view, it's almost very black and white. The Nazis are extraordinarily evil, the Yanks are doing good. But the German characters in the movie, even Hans Landa, are incredibly complex creations.
Yeah.
He's cruel, but he's charming.
Yes.
And he has this, well, I don't want to give it away, but was that something that appealed to you as well?
Yeah, Quentin wrote some extraordinary characters, and I think Colonel Landa is one of the best characters he may have ever written to date. And I'll tell you a story that is true. So 2 weeks later, I think it was July 29th, we land and we took off. We landed in Berlin the next day. We got off the plane, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We go straight to the studio in Babelsberg, look at location photos. 5 o'clock in the morning, next day, Friday morning, we start location scouting. Saturday, at 9 o'clock, we start casting doing the German casting. And that first day, we cast Daniel Bruhl,
yes,
and we cast Til Schweiger, and we saw a lot of other really cool actors. But I was feeling pretty cool because we cast 2 great actors right then and there first day. But Quentin was feeling off, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. So Sunday morning, at like literally 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, he calls us down to his hotel room, and he'd been up thinking about this all night long. He says, "Look, I'm really worried. I might have written a role that can't be played. That we're not going to be able to find an actor for." And at that point, the only way to have started pre-production was for Quentin to start cash flowing the movie with his own money. Because if we waited to raise the money, and then after we raised the money, start pre-production, we would have never made it. So early on, I said to Quentin, we have to do a lot of things on parallel paths, and one of them would have to be for you to just start cash flowing tomorrow. So he said, look, up to this point, studios haven't put any money in, it's just me. We haven't closed any deals. If we can't find the actor to play this role, I'm just going to publish the screenplay. I've lost my own money. No one else has lost any money. Because this character has to be not just a great actor, but a linguistic genius. And I'm worried that, yesterday we saw a lot of wonderful actors, but maybe they can speak in 1 or 2 languages, but not the third language. And this actor's got to be able to speak in fluent French, German, and English, but not just speak in those languages, but say my dialogue, in the poetry that I've written it. And he was really worried, really concerned. So I said to him, look, what we'll do is we'll just cancel all the other roles, and starting today, this afternoon, we'll just only see Landa characters, Colonel Landa characters, for now to the end of the week. And we'll just concentrate on that. And if we can't, and you'll spend X amount of money, are you okay with that? Fine. And by the end of the week, if we haven't found that character, we'll stop. And if we have, you'll feel the confidence to go on. So we go to the casting, and about 2 hours later that morning, in walks Christoph Waltz, who's now in the movie.
Yeah.
And, I was sitting there, Quentin was reading with him, I read the small parts, Quentin always reads the big parts, and I could look in Quentin's eyes, I felt it, we found our guy. And at the end, Christoph Waltz said, "Thank you very much." It was just, it's Christoph saying, "It's an honor to audition with you, Mr. Tarantino." But we're like, no, you don't understand. It's an honor for you to come into this room. You have no idea. You just saved our movie. Oh my God. And he walked out, and Quentin and I just started high-fiving, because that was it. That was the linchpin. That was the thing that's basically saved us. I mean, that was the one role that Quentin was worried about.
Fantastic. There was talk earlier on, though, that Quentin had met with Leonardo DiCaprio. Was that for that role, or was it?
They never met.
They never met. Okay, but Brad obviously was on board from very early on.
Quentin was, when Quentin was writing the script last year, 2008. Quentin was definitely thinking about Brad, and so the first thing Quentin did was send that script to the south of France, and Brad read it and said he liked it. And one of the first things he did was he jumped on a plane in week 1, flew to south of France, met with Brad, came back.
On his own dime, of course.
On Quentin's own dime, of course, yeah. Came back and said, well, Brad's in.
Yeah.
And that was that was one of those moments.
Yeah, because that's the steamroller effect, I guess.
Yeah,
for
sure.
It takes it on from there. Can you talk about the moment, because obviously the script leaked very, very publicly and very widespread on the internet. It was the early version of Wolverine, I guess. What did that mean for you guys? Was it upsetting, or were you pleased? Because it's such a great script. You were pleased it was out there?
For me personally, I was really upset that the script would lead.
Yeah.
Because I like to keep things in the wraps. I like to keep things more private. But Quentin was like, great, it's leaked. Everyone's going to read it, or people will read it. He didn't care. He was kind of happy. He said, "What are you worried about? So people are going to read the script. People are going to see the movie. What's And so it's funny. He has a very different attitude to things. And where I was upset, he was like, "What's the problem? Let's go make the movie."
And by and large, the script is the movie, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot of changes, not a lot of things been cut.
No, like any process when you make a movie, especially with an auteur, is the Quentin, he writes it, and then of course he directs the movie, we make the movie, and then there's the edit process. So each step of the way things change, but basically the movie's the movie. Yes.
Yeah. Can you talk about the title, the idiosyncratic spelling of the title? Is that to dissuade people from maybe not advertising it in their? Because I know people in advertisers in America, supermarkets, etc., cinema chains could be a little bit finicky about things like that.
You're saying using the word bastards in Inglourious Basterds?
Yeah.
That's not. I don't think that's really an issue for us in the United States. I mean, I've heard that that's an issue in the UK, but I mean that's been the title. I mean, it's almost like he got the title and decided to make the movie. So it's always been the sort of the starting point for him. I want to make World War II movie, Inglourious Basterds, and off he went.